very important and very necessary for human being.
Great.
Next question.
በትግርኛ ወላ
ሰላም 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 ሊሆን ነገር የለም። ሰላም ሲባል አጥናት ሰላም ይላል። ሰላም ተዘጋጅ ሰላም ሰላም እዚህ ሀዲ ዋጋው شو عيننا كمان نسوي ليه كتر قوي قوي أنا أنا ولا جريء سلام في البول سلام والدسر وكل فترة عليه سلام ولا جريء لا يجينا نقول سلام وتعالى نسوي تعالى
سلام كم حديكم؟ سلام مبارك حسن بعد. سلام طعم زباين زي سلام تنبر سريلا سلام مالت قمت وزلهم سلام تكون أنا خمدي أنا مصاف مخيل مالتي سلام نسوي يقول ناس الساحل على مود زي سلام مش تنبر سريلا يا ودي له يعني
Are we all introduce ourselves? How about those last?
I have graduated from Axumawit University by the Department of Management. This is one from the basic managers. If there is a peace, there is a work, there is or you must be to move from one country to other country, and there is also to work hard. If there is peace, therefore all people or human beings must stand with their peace. Thank you.
Finish, yeah.
Two ladies, you're introducing yourselves?
شلون أعزف لما رمضان؟ الناس تكلم زبالة وتصبوا مالك وأنا نبى سلامي.
next
شوية تقيلة. هذا بعد سلام سلام بتصمر سلام عدنا سلام الورد.
My name is Guru, and I come from Bright Eye Solution. So thank you so much to get this opportunity, and welcome also welcome from AAU actually. So we know Gauram here for 10 years. For 10 years, he do very well actually. He supports for so many people in Tigray. He knows very well about Tigray. You see, he write about Tigray all the time. About Tigray. So without peace here, that is nothing for us. We know this 3 years before. We lose our friends. Even our friend is actually in an association of guide. We've been for 56 members. But now, because of the war, he was across the borders even. You see? So we need a peace, everything in Tigray, not only in the whole world actually. So thank you so much. Yes.
መጻፈሉ ካብ አርት ወይ ካብ አርት ማል ካሜራማን እየ ደራሲ ከምኡ ተዋሳኢ ከምኡ ኣኽሱማዊት ሚድያ ዝብል ሳብስክራይብ ክትገብሩ ትኽእሉ ኢኹም እና ልዕሊ ማንም እቲ ሰላም እዩ ካብ ኩሉ ዝበለፀ ሰላም እዩ ሰላም ትዘልዩ ብሰላም ወፂእኻ ብሰላም ክትኣትዩ ትኽእል ኣይ ስለ ዘርኢ ሰላም ስለ ዘርኢ እና ኩላና ንሰላም ክንዝመግብ ኣለና ሰላም ዝመፅእ ሓደ ግዜ ምስ ጎረቤትካ ሓንቲ ቆላሚጠ ሰብ ክልቲኻ ተፅደለካ ተኮይናት ንስኻ ዕንጨይቲ ተድሊካ ነቲ ቆላሚጠ ዝተቆረፅካያ ካብ ሰላም ኣይትመፅእ እታ ዕንጨይቲ ገዲፍካ ሰላም ዝፍጠርና ቴንክ ዩ ኣነ ሰላም ዝመክል
Okay, has everyone introduced themselves? Last person in the door. So I would like to thank all of us for this wonderful introduction. And now we're going to break up for lunch. Okay, fine. So what we're going to do right now is perhaps before the lunch comes, Madam Hazel, since today is a half-day celebration, maybe we can entertain your presentation now, if you're ready, and then we can have lunch off. Yeah, perfect. Madam Hazel from the African Union Commission has a presentation on the entire initiative of the fellows, and then this presentation is important because it's going to give us an in-depth understanding of what this entire project is all about, but also how we can also tap into other opportunities. This projector?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about KICID Fellow. So it's an international program, basically help capacity building and professional development program designed to bring together religious leaders, educators, practitioners from diverse religious and cultural. The program connects and cultivates network of leaders committed to fostering peace in their communities, such as Axum, through interreligious and intercultural dialogue. This program or initiative of having a fellows program was launched in 2015, so this year they are celebrating 20th year. And the fellows from 2015 to date has equipped 550 fellows from nearly 100 countries with dialogue skills needed to promote mutual understanding and cooperation between diverse religions and cultures in the global world. So the fellows are made up of people from the global community, religious leaders, educators, dialogue practitioners from the Baha'i community, Buddhist, Christian, Hindu, Jewish, Muslim, Samaritan, Sikh, traditional or interreligious religions with religious affiliations, as well as spiritual traditions are also welcome to apply to the area people, religious leaders, academic, educators, policymakers involved in global development, peace and reconciliation or social vision. Most of the fellows have familiarity with either interreligious or intercultural dialogue, or may be in the position to engage religious leaders or faith-based organizations responsible for the formation of future religious leaders, or responsible for international, regional, or national and practice with impact on or importance to religions. So the Fellows program have a Fellows alumni network. Once you have gone through the process of becoming a fellow, you will be joined in one of this network where you can connect with other graduates in other countries or in other faith, religion, or whatever the case may be. So you can exchange ideas or initiatives that you might be working on, or just exchange best practices, find funding for new ideas or initiatives. And it also provides a learning and professional development opportunity to reinforce lasting outcome in the field. So when you are in the program, when you join the fellowship program, you will be taught how to specialize in dialogue facilitation, interreligious dialogue, interreligious communication, and social cohesion that will empower you to advance this skill within your community or the organization you find yourself that you employ. So the program is in threefold. They are in-person training, organized in 3 different locations. One in Asia, one in Europe, and one in Africa. And you have online classes, so you don't have to be in a school, basically. So you have online classes, and you just meet 2 times physically in person, and there are live virtual discussion sessions over the calendar year. The fellowship program is for a year. And the fellows are given a small grant to implement an initiative, which is the grant that we have used for all of us to be here today. So that's part of the thing that comes with the fellowship.
Can you tell us how much is the grant?
The grant is $2,500 for you to implement a small project within your community or wherever you wish, but you have to have a proposal, and it will go through a rigorous process before it will be approved and the money will be given for you to implement. And at the end of the implementation, you have to report back, saying the money you gave us, this is what we did according to what we proposed earlier. So, the requirements for you to apply to become a fellow, you have to have ability to engage in dialogue in complex topics, mostly English. You have to be versatile in English. Your English has to be top notch, and you have to have institutional support, like somebody who can vouch for you by by an organization. You have to have an organization you are engaged with, so this organization can vouch for you, say yes, this person is fit to become a fellow, to be enrolled as a fellow in the program. And you have to have the relevant background. So you have to have an experience in education in a field related to religion, interreligious or intercultural dialogue, international development or peace building, or if you are working with religious leaders. And the fellowship is open to diversity. So you should be willing to collaborate with individuals from diverse religious, cultural, and ideological backgrounds, as well as you have to be fully committed to be enrolled in the fellowship program. You have to be available for online classes. When physical classes are requested, you have to be available to travel to attend those classes. And they have an additional program which they call the Youth Focus Cohorts. So this is done at regional, national, or if you are a volunteer staff with a youth focus organization or agency or network that you are engaging with. For this year, the timeline for request for fellowship has closed. The deadline was 30th of July, and the decision will be taken in the coming weeks, 1st November. And the program will run from January to December 2026. An application will open for 2027 in July 2026. So there is still opportunity for 2026 fellowship if anyone is interested. So you have it now in the back of your mind that I want to be, so I can apply come next year, July. Thank
So thank you very much, Madam, for the presentation. There's been a lot of conversations, interreligious dialogue, feature, religious leaders, impact religious communities, funding for new ideas, social cohesion, online classes, ability to implement. So the fellowship program is very important when it comes to promoting interreligious dialogue. As she mentioned, she is the one that is actually implementing the project. And then as a fellow, she's entitled to $2,500 to organize a community event. So I've been working with her at the African Union for almost 7 years, and then when she told me she wanted to have this event, I said, you can give it to our organization and then we can implement it here. So we're going to be having 3 sets of events within this event. The first is this dialogue here. The second event is going to be in the Gadam, where we're having the big Gadam, and then we're going to go with some of our Muslim brothers and sisters to the Gadam. And then we're going to have the second dialogue forum in the Gadam. And then thirdly, we're going to have online forums where we're going to share information about using social media, using media to promote culture of peace. So now I would like to open the floor for any questions to Madam Hazel. You can ask her any question regarding the fellowship. And then if you have any concerns and queries also about African Union, she also works with African Union. This is a very good opportunity for us to also voice some of our challenges or some of our opinions regarding the peace process in Tigray and Ethiopia, and whatever she's here is a good opportunity. So the floor is open. Thank you very much. Questions, comments? So, Madam Hazel. Good. If you don't have any questions and comments, I would like to start with the first question and comment. Madam Hazel, I would like to ask 2 questions. The first is, how can Axum and the people of Axum benefit from the International Fellows Program in the future? And then how can the Fellows Program and also the Foundation support projects here? That is the Foundation KAICID, support the program here. And then number 2, as you all know, we just came out of conflict in Tigray for the past 3 years. I've been here before the conflict, during the conflict, after the conflict. I was stuck in Mekelle for 8 months. I would like to know, now that the peace process is going on board, how can you raise awareness? You've been here, you've seen, we have refugee camps all over. How can you raise awareness within the AU, since you work at the top level, to tell the AU that this is what is happening? The peace process is very slow. There's no implementation on the ground, as you can see. And then the facilities are built. Axum University and all the universities are looted, computers, materials. basically taking the religion back to 20 years. Am I right? Yeah. To development. So therefore, everything should not be centered in Mekele. Aksum is also very important. So these are the two questions I wanted to put to you before you ask.
Okay, so let's start with the first question. So if you want to be a fellow of KAISI, you have to do the online application. So it's on their website. They have a link. So before you apply, it will be good to go through the website as a whole, get to know about the organization, what they do, where they are, who they implement with as well, where they work, because they work in Africa, Europe, and Asia as well. So get like a general background. There's a tab there specifically just for the fellows program. The fellows program is part of their programmatic work, but they have a section where you will only find fellows. And when you apply to become a fellow, because they have limited slots, I think by year they have maximum 20. They only take 20 fellows by year. So it's a rigorous process you have to go through, because most of the time they have like thousands of applications. So they have long listing, short listing, until they get those 20 people. And it's cut across the board. It's from Africa, it's from Asia, it's from Europe. That's the final fellows will come from. And the religion of these fellows vary. You will have Christian, you will have Hindus, you will have Buddhists. So there is diversity. So these cohorts that I am in of the fellowship is a special one that is just made up of people that work in government and intergovernmental organization. So in my cohort, you find people from IGAD and the UN agency and other international organizations. But mostly you will find people from other cohorts, from civil societies, whether it doesn't matter which thematic area you are in, but it's a civil society, and you have religious leaders as well. So when you go through the process after applying in July, so they have like the whole 2 months to do the shortlisting, the whatever to get the 20 slots of the people that they will engage, and they will get back to you in November. And the process, basically, that's the initial process that will start. You've been informed that you have been selected to become a member, and the fellowship of itself will start in January. It runs for a whole year. So it's from January to December. And you actually get to even graduate. I'll be graduating in December this year. And the graduation is always held at their headquarters in Lisbon. Now they are in Lisbon. Before they were in Vienna, Austria. Now they are in Lisbon, Portugal. So the graduation will happen in December. And before the graduation, you have like online classes. Possibly, I think we are on 10 sessions now of online classes. We have met in person twice. So the first time we met in Jordan, the second time we met in Indonesia, because what they are teaching you during the online classes, they want you to get the practical feel of it. Like Indonesia has several religions. I was even shocked to know that Indonesia is basically a Christian country. I actually thought it was a Muslim until I went to I've been to Indonesia before, but it was not in Jakarta actually. But so they try to, what you learn from the professor during the online classes, they try to bring it in physically. So you will visit a Buddhist monk, you visit a monk place, you visit the synagogue, like when we went to Jordan, we went to Jordan itself. So at least you get to see the Christian side, you get to see the Muslim side, you get to see the Buddhist side, you get to see the Hindu side. So inter-religious, intercultural. Basically, that is the backbone of the organization itself. So they promote interreligious, they promote intercultural dialogue, and at the end, towards the mid of the year, you will do a proposal of the initiative that you want to do, and they will give. It has to go through a process as well for it to qualify for you to get the grant. Then you will receive the grant and you can implement. Of course, when you receive money, you have to reply back, say, this is how I use the money. They will give you a template for reporting backwards to say, yes, the money was put into good use. So anybody can apply, and you just have to keep your fingers crossed that I can get in at a particular time. So people have applied for like 5 times. At the 6th time was when they were shortlisted. So the application is free. I always say once the application is free, you can apply as many times as possible. One fine day you will be lucky and you might get in. And for the, I hope that answered the first.
Just the website for the application.
The website I can share with you, then you can share it. For the second part of the question, that's basically an A question. So I was speaking now before on KICD, the Interreligious Dialogue Center. So now I'm speaking now the AU question. My advice is Ethiopia is hosting the AU, so Ethiopia has a very good advantage to use the AU. You cannot be a host and you don't use it to your full potential. So they host the AU, they are also a member of the 55 member states of the AU, they pay their dues and everything. So I think it will be the responsibility of the government to bring it to the attention of the Peace and Security Council. So they have 2 ways to do it. They can take it to the Peace and Security Council. They can even put it as an agenda item during the Permanent Representative Council. And put their place and pause. Say, this is what we are facing. How can you help? It's always good to ask for help when you know that you have other people with best practices or ideas that can help you. So just ask, how can you help? So I think you should take it back. I don't know if you have a subsection of the Interreligious Council of Ethiopia here. So if you don't have, I think the faith-based organization here should actually seek the help from the capital Interreligious Council, because I know the Ethiopia has an Interreligious Council that is embedded in the Peace and Security Department of the government of Ethiopia, because I have met with the Peace Minister before several times. So I think if you don't have a subset of the Interreligious Council here, the faith-based organization should come together, put their case across to the Interreligious Council of Ethiopia and walk it through that channel. That will be your most best. In fact, that is your best option to get your voices heard.
Thank you very much. Perfect. Do you have any other questions or comments? Yes, please.
First of all, thank you, Ms. Anna, for your explanation or presentation on KICD fellow. So it is new for me.
Can you please stand up and speak?
Okay. So it is a new information for me. So now I will try to search something about this KICD fellow and how we will be benefit from this KICD fellow as an individual, even as a community of Aksum in terms of Tigray and as a whole. So my question, you know that this is about to lead to conflict of interest. Maybe this conflict of interest are happened in the elite part. It may be religious elite, it may be political elite, it may be the icon of the community, but in the ground, the society, the community have not a problem. For example, you can raise the previous 3-4 occasions in the Tigray or Tigray wars. The community of Tigray have not a problem with the community of other region of Ethiopia. But the politicians have a conflict of interest. The politicians in one region and the politicians of here regions have the conflict of interest. So they initiate or they make it followers by their religions, and they bring two communities to the specific wars, and a lot of people have died, a lot of things are damaged and collapsed, and the organizations, everything. So we know that that we have been said peace is important. So my question is, what is the TC fellow contributions, the main contributions, specifically in influencing the elites, political elites, maybe religious elites, to become or to become in tables or to become fostering peace or anyways. So what are specific contributions of these TC fellows? And the second question is, what the main requirement? What's the main requirement to apply? As you have said, we share the website for you. Yeah. So what are the main requirements? It may be an educational profile or main requirements to apply for this TC fellow. Thank you.
I think to answer your first, let me start with the last question. That's a bit easy. I think I mentioned some of the requirements. So you should have the ability to engage in dialogue, like we are doing. Basically, we are discussing, we are going back and forth, we are having a dialogue. So you should have that ability to engage in dialogue and in complex topic, not only anything, not limited to interreligious dialogue or intercultural or intercommunication dialogue, but you should have the ability to engage in complex topics as well as in English. And you should have an institutional support. So you should be attached to an organization, because this organization will recommend you at the end of when you are putting in your application. The organization will endorse your application. Then you should have a relevant background, education in the field related to religion, social sciences, or international peace building or whatever, but it should have like something related to religion, intercultural religion, interreligious, intercommunicational, international development, peace building, or you are working with religious leaders per se. And you have to be committed, because some people will apply for something and at the end of the day, they do not partake in what they have applied to do. So you have to be committed. The program is mainly online. You just meet 3 times a year. But the times you are meeting in person, you have to be available. If you miss one in-person session, you are automatically kicked out of the program. So you have to be committed. If you are applying, you have to say, I have to do whatever it takes for me to complete the program. It's needed. Basically, so that's the requirement that you should have for you to put in your request to apply. And at the end of the day, asking what is the benefit. So you gain additional skills. For anything, we learn every day. So professors, people who have been in this field for like 20 plus years, will be lecturing you. So it's a bonus for you. You are having additional skills, which is being handed over to you, that you can in turn replicate when you come back to your community or to your organization. So that is the main thing. And you will, at the end of the fellowship, you will be put in the alumni network. They already have over 500 people who have qualified. The fellowship started 20 years ago. So you will be put in this network of people who also have background. And you can interact, you can learn, you can request for funds together, do initiatives together. But the fellows come from different locations. It's not only limited to Africa. Fellows come from Africa, they come from Europe, they come from Middle East, they come from Asia. Plus somebody who is coming from Europe or Middle East, you can combine it and bring something up very fruitful. So these are the benefits that you get from being a fellow. I hope that answers it.
Perfect. Do you have any question, comments before we go for lunch? Is lunch ready? Everybody? Lunch is ready? Oh, it's ready. Okay. So, do you have any other questions or comments before we go for lunch? Okay, if you don't have any questions or comments, I would like to. Thank you, Professor.
Okay. For the first time, my name is Solomon, and thank you, Madam Hazel, for coming to Aksum and sharing information, vital information, and for appearing in this very important forum. I hope you will continue your support. This is my first comment. As a second comment, as Mr. Ibrahim said, I came from Axum University. I'm Dean of Student Service. So, as a result of the work our community is suffering, and our hospital and college are hit by the war. So, due to the damage and so many things are missing. But we should carry on our education. Our generation should continue education, even though we have limited resources. So I would like to ask you to help us if opportunities appear in your organization, and your social contact may be much better than me or another. So I hope just to stress your physical and material support, and in every aspect, like this one, the fellowship is very important, and the other fellowship is even so, and other scholars to come to invest their knowledge and support even in their materials, whatever. Education is a tool and a power. So I hope you will help us. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Any other question, comment from anybody? So if there are any questions or comments, I would just like to also make 3 quick comments, and then we can go for lunch. The first is to say, Madam Hazel, the reason why we're making this appeal is because Axum is very key to the development of the entire world. This is not a secret, everybody knows that, and then there's a lot of things that should happen here. And then number 2, also is important for you to also make advocacy for us. Most of the meetings and activities can also go to Axum. Axum is a big tourism center, so some of the meetings happening in Addis from your budget in Mekele, you can bring it here. We have a good hotel, and then most of the hotels are being built here also. So this is also an appeal. And then finally, tomorrow's program, we are also forming an interreligious leaders and community elders network for peace. So that network, we are going to engage with you and also see how we can work with Mr. Solomon and also the religious leaders to make advocacy trips to Mekele, to Addis, to also make some advocacy to bring some funding there. So that's what I would like to say. Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause for the session. I would now like to lunch. I know the Muslims have a different lunch, so we're going to discuss that later. And then we're going to get back here after 1 hour, 30 minutes. No? Yeah. Thank you very much, and then enjoy your lunch outside. Thank you.
سلام